This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good evening. Welcome to this evening's newscast on Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith. Without further ado, let's get to the news in detail. The Yellowtail project, the fourth to be pursued by ESSO in the eastern portion of the Stabroek Block, is poised to emit significant amounts of greenhouse gases throughout its predicted 20-year life cycle. According to the project's environmental impact assessment, which is being reviewed by the Environmental Protection Agency, the project's average annual emissions during production operations is estimated to be between approximately 1.11 and 1.4 million tons of carbon dioxide equivalents per year. ESSO was keen to note that there are no applicable regulatory criteria against which these greenhouse gas emissions can be compared. In other news, the National Assembly's Public Accounts Committee was unable to hold its scheduled meeting yesterday and will also be unable to meet next Monday since clerks for the constitutional body are, and I quote, stressed out. This is according to a letter that was written to the chairman of the committee, Opposition Member of Parliament Jermaine Figuera, on Thursday by the clerk of the National Assembly, Sherlock Isaacs. Isaacs related to Figuera that due to frequent challenges being encountered at the PAC meetings, the current clerk of the committee has developed health issues because of high levels of stress and cannot continue to work with them. He noted too that all clerks from other committees within the National Assembly are unwilling to fill the slot because the unprofessional conduct of some PAC members is not conducive to a healthy working environment. And moving on, a Brazilian national who is yet to be identified by the police was on Thursday night stabbed to death by his drinking partner following a dispute over gold. According to information, the fatal stabbing occurred sometime around 20 hours 30 during a drinking spree at a location in Central Barometer, Region 1. The police in a report stated that around that time the men were known to each other, and are both Brazilian nationals, were consuming alcohol in the vicinity of Johnny Phillips Hotel when the heated argument ensued. And moving on, at least 5 gunmen have reportedly invaded DHL, a local franchise of an international shipping company, and carted off 2 safes from the building. The DHL office is located on Cumming Street, Albert Town, and according to police, they are hunting the men that had broken into the building around 3 hours 23. According to police, the 2 security guards that were guarding the place were unarmed at the time, and one of them alleged that he was in the front compound of the establishment when a masked man attacked him. The bandit then duct-taped him and, accompanied by 4 others who had reportedly jumped a back fence to enter the premises, proceeded to break into the office. Investigators stated that the bandits had carted off with 2 safes and 3 canisters containing an undisclosed amount of cash. The Guyana Agricultural and General Workers Union, or GAU, recently stated on its website that oil companies and subcontractors have been replacing locals with foreigners to do driving, cleaning, and other simple jobs. The union stated that in trying to justify this act, the oil companies have reasoned that Guyanese lack the qualifications, skill, and experience to undertake certain basic tasks. However, according to GAU, it has learned that the tasks some of the companies have hired foreigners to do are not complicated and can be done by Guyanese. GAU also pointed out that foreigners are not only taking away the jobs from Guyanese, but they are receiving better payment and incentives than the locals. The union further revealed that apart from this, it has been told that some of these foreigners that are being brought to replace locals in the sector have not even received work permits and are working without paying income taxes to Guyana. The union is now calling for the government to urgently investigate this matter, even as it is still actively addressing the enactment of a local content legislation. And moving on, Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony said yesterday that the government is not in support of calls by some countries for persons to be revaccinated if they had been vaccinated with the Russian Sputnik V vaccine, a non-approved WHO vaccine. It was in September last that the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention announced that people who receive all or some of the recommended doses of a COVID-19 vaccine not listed for emergency use by WHO and FDA may be offered a complete FDA-authorized COVID-19 vaccine series. In its recommendation the CDC stated that persons should wait at least 28 days after being administered the last dose of the non-authorized vaccine before being administered the FDA-authorized vaccine. And to wrap things up this evening, let's tell you that the Environmental Protection Agency has announced that there would be at least 2 public consultations on ExxonMobil's 4th project in the Stabroek Block called Yellowtail. The regulator informed that one session will be held on Monday, October 25th at Humaniana from 5 p.m., while the next round is scheduled for Wednesday, October 27th at the Anna Regina Town Hall from 9 hours. The EPA was keen to note that all COVID-19 protocols will be in effect. For those who would not be able to attend, written submissions should be addressed to Executive Director, EPA, Ganges Street, Sophia, Georgetown. Concerns can be sent via email address epa@epaguyana.org. And with that, we've come to the end of this evening's newscast. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening. Do have a safe and enjoyable weekend.
Want value for your advertising dollar?